How's it going, Rogues Gallery? It's finally here, the Gundam card game starter deck 5 Iron Bloom. And by finally here, I mean it's been out for a couple weeks, but I finally have my copies of this. Dude, this has been so difficult to get, not just for me and you, for like everyone. So yes, I finally have my copies of Iron Bloom, so we can make some decks and do what we're doing today, which is an opening and review of this particular starter deck. I'm also a huge fan of Iron-Blooded Orphans, so yeah, I'm excited to kind of like actually check this out in person. I want to give a huge shout out, absolutely huge shout out to Fantastic Realms. They are our Gundam card game sponsor, and they're awesome. They hooked me up with these starter decks. I absolutely cannot recommend them enough. We do have links and stuff in the description down below to all of their stuff. So yes, once again, shout out to Fantastic Realms. This video likely wouldn't be possible without them. So without further ado, let's jump into the top down and open and review the Gundam card game starter deck 5 Iron Bloom. Let's do it. All right, let's get started. I'm really excited to open this up, really excited to start building decks. I already have a red purple deck lined up that's just going to be, you know, starter deck cards and set 1 cards. And yeah, waiting for set 2 to come out to further expand upon that, but I'm excited to open this up. I do want to address the elephant in the room currently if you're watching this at the time of this video. If you're watching in the future and things are different, hey, that's great. But these are currently selling for a ridiculous amount. I've seen them go from anywhere between 40, if you're lucky, up to 60, up to some crazy numbers like $90. And at those prices, I would not recommend it. I would not recommend spending $90 for a $15 starter deck. If you can find these at around $15 to $20, well, we'll see. We'll see if we recommend it after taking a look at the cards. But I can just say straight up, I do not recommend spending $60 to $90 on a $15 starter deck. Hopefully, these are reprinted en masse, and everyone can get these at big box stores, at your local game store, online for $15. Yeah, I just wanted to address that really quickly, because if I do end up starting to praise this, which I feel like I might, I think this deck seems pretty sweet. Keep in mind that is not considering that price. I do not support that price, not even in the slightest. So with that said, let's take a look at the deck. So here we have the actual deck. Go ahead and toss that stuff. We have our little bonus pack that should have one of the cards found in here and a foil. And then we also have the how to play booklet, which is nice. All of the things come with this, or all of the Gundam starter decks come with this how to play. It also serves as a rudimentary playmat if you don't have a beautiful playmat like this. So let's go ahead and set that off to the side as well. We'll open up the little bonus pack at the end, but for now, let's go ahead and take off the little deck tab. Bandai games tend to not fully shrink wrap their stuff, they just put in these little tabs. See if we got a foil deck. Nope, we did not get all foil deck. That's cool. You could have a chance to get what people call a god deck, which is a fully foil deck. It's very rare. I would not recommend chasing them, so some people will for sure, but not at the prices of this. Anyway, I digress. Let's take a look at the cards. So we have the Gundam Barbatos 4th Form. I think this card's actually a very good card, and in Tekkaden style decks and purple decks, I think this could be anywhere from a 2 to 3 to maybe even a 4 depending on what you're doing. I think this card's actually really solid as one of the starter deck legendaries. And also, it looks very, very cool. Very iconic scene from IBO where he's given the good old stab to some space pirates. Yeah, this is a great card. Does everything you want and introduces the new suppression mechanic, which does double damage to shields, specifically. Not to bases, but to shields. Sweet, so we got 2 of these. Next up we have the McGillis's Schwab Greys. This is our other LR from the starter. I think this one's actually not as bad as it looks. I've had a chance to play with this a little bit in in digital form, and I thought it's actually not as bad. Like, this plus McGillis is pretty good. It's just a big chungus. It's a level 4 3 cost 4/2. It has blocker, and then when you pair it, you choose an enemy unit that's level 3 or lower, and it gets -2 AP during the whole turn, which is not bad. And then it links with McGillis, of course. We get 2 of these. I think, once again, I think this is better than it looks. It doesn't look very good, but when I've played it, it's actually not that bad. Next up, we have the Gundam Barbatos second form. This one does see some play already. It's a level 4, 2 cost 2/4, and if it's damage, it gets +2, which is pretty solid. Links with Mikazuki. We get a full 4 of here. Some decks still play this card. It's not too bad. I guess I should go over this. I didn't go over this, what it literally does. If I'm going to do that with other cards, I might as well go over it with the actual, like, probably one of the best cards in this. So it's a level 6, 4 cost 4/5. On deploy, choose one of your other units, you deal 1 damage to it, and then it gains 1 AP during this turn. It's really good for stuff that cares about being damaged, like this Barbatos second form. And then while this unit is damaged, it gains suppression. And then it links with Mikazuki. So you want to basically deal this 1 point of damage, give a suppression, and then smash in for damage. Here we have the CGS Mobile Worker, level 1, 1 cost 0/2. You can activate it to shoot one of your own dudes for 1 damage, and then it gets 1 AP. I'm not a big fan of this card, to be honest, but it could be a role player, that kind of deck, but I kind of don't think so. We have the Gray's Custom. It's just a 1-drop 2/2. Level 2, 1-drop 2/2. Yeah, you see these a lot. If you want this in purple, here you go. There's also Tekken. We also have the Gundam Gujian Rebake. Level 4, 3 cost 3/4. Decent stats. When this is destroyed, you choose an enemy unit 4 less AP and you rest it, and it links with Akihiko. Anyway, I don't think this is a very good card, so yeah, you're probably not going to play this one. This one, however, is great, and a lot of purple decks will be playing this. The Hyakurin, it's a level 3, level 3, 2 cost 4/3, very similar to the Rezel from set 1. Very good stat line. You only get 3 here on the starter, so if you want a full playset, you have to pick up either another starter or just to buy a single. But yeah, this is very good, and it'll see a lot of play. It's just really good stats. Next up, we have the Gray's Commander type. Level 3, 2 cost. It's a 3/2 with blocker and links with Gallarhorn. This is an okay card. It likely won't see a ton of play, but maybe in Gallarhorn specific decks. Here is another level 2, 1 cost 2/2. This one is Gallarhorn. We get 3 of these instead of the 2 that the purple had. Now we have Mikazuki. Mikazuki is an incredibly good pilot, and as with most things in here, this is the only place you can get him currently, outside of a promo. So level 4, 1 cost 2/1, has the pilot ability of burst, you add it to your hand, and then when you pair it, you choose one of your units and an enemy unit, and you deal 1 damage to each of them. And so it's very good for this kind of like self-damaging strategy, but you also have to deal damage to your opponent. So I think Mikazuki is actually a very, very powerful pilot, and makes it worth playing the Tekken style deck. So very, very good. We also have Akihiro, who I couldn't say his name properly before. I think he's actually really, really solid. Level 3, 1 cost +1/+1. Burst, add to your hand. And then during Link, specifically during Link, during your turn, when this unit destroys any enemy unit with battle damage, choose 1 Tekken unit card that is level 2 or lower in your trash, and then you add it to your hand. What's cool about this is you can technically use this multiple times if it survives, which is really good, to be honest. So if your opponent doesn't kill your Akihiro Link unit, you can kind of keep getting advantage. The downside is there's not a lot of Tekken in level 2 or lowers. I do believe in the deck there's only the 2 cards. I think it's just the 2/2 here, the Gray's Custom, and I think the Mobile Worker. I think those are the only level 2 or lower ones. So at least in the starter deck. If I remember right, there's not very many more in the booster set, but I think he's still pretty solid. It's a cool pilot. Next up, we have McGillis Farid. Level 4, 1 cost 2/1. Burst, add to hand. When paired, if you have 2 or more other Gallarhorn or Tekken units in play, choose an enemy unit with 3 or less HP and rest it. This is what kind of makes it good. It's kind of like a pseudo, not as good Amuro Ray, but when you combine it with this, it's actually like pretty good effect, right? You'll have a 6/3 that has blocker, pretty powerful blocker. And then when you link it up, if you meet the requirements here, you can choose an enemy unit that's 3 or lower, and it gets -2 AP, and you can also rest HP 3 or lower dude. So yeah, I don't know. In practice, it's been fairly good, but you know, when it's fully out there and competitive, I don't know. But at least in like starter deck stuff on the mobile app, it's not bad. Next up, we have With Iron and Blood. Level 2, 1 cost, main action. Choose one of your units, deal 1 damage to it, and it gets +3 AP. All right, this is a good way to enable that for the deck. Next up, we have Fatal Strike. I think this card's pretty solid. It's a level 4, 2 cost, burst, choose an enemy unit, deal 1 damage to it, or main, choose an enemy unit that's level 3 or lower, and destroy it. Pretty solid, actually. We only get 2 here in the starter. You might only need 2. but I do think it's a pretty solid card. And we also have our bases. We have the Isaribi, level 3, 1 cost 0/5. Deploy, add a shield to your hand, and then activate main, rest the base, choose one of our damage unit, and it gets +2 AP for the turn. That's actually not too bad. Kind of a conditional +2 AP. And then we also have a reprint of a really good card, Unforeseen Incident. This is actually a very good card that sees play on a lot of white decks. Level 3, 1 cost burst. You add it. You activate its main effect and its main action. Choose an enemy unit. It gets -3 AP during the turn. It's really good. Really makes it efficient to attack into your opponent's stuff. And then we just have our resources, and then we have our EX base, EX resource, and then some little punch outs. Yeah, I think this deck is actually really solid compared to some of the other starter decks. I think it's not bad. I think some of the cards in here are pretty good, and I think there's actual, like, a good host of actual playables in here that you could actually take into fully constructed decks. Like Mikazuki, the little 2/2 Chunguses are not bad. The Hakurin is very, very good. The Barbados second form is all right. And then I think, obviously, the fourth form is pretty solid. And I think you can maybe try to build a Gallarhorn. That's a little bit more of a risky endeavor. But I genuinely think, like, Mikazuki and Barbatos are very, very good. And I think Akihiko is also... He's also up there. He doesn't have a ton of support yet, but someday I think it can be a very good card. So my overall opinion of this is, if you can find the starter deck at MSRP to maybe like $5 more, 15 to 20, I think it's a great buy. I think the deck is really solid. If you like Iron-Blooded Orphans, I think it's fantastic. And I think it plays very, very well in my experience. And I'm actually really looking forward to building up on this deck and making a purple-red. But I think you could still stick with a purple-white, or a purple-blue is another one that a lot of people have been brewing around with. So yeah, I think this deck is great. If you can get it around regular price. If you can't, I don't know what to say, man. Like, $40 is rough. $60 to $90 is actually insane. So once again, if you're watching this in the future and you can get these at MSRP to $20 and you're like, I like IBO, yo, go for it. I think it's great. But I do not support the scalping, and I do not support the crazy pricing on this kind of stuff. So that is my review of that. If you wanted to build just decks and you already kind of know what you're doing, singles is probably the way to go. Unless once again, if you find these at MSRP to maybe like up to 20, 25. I think that's acceptable right now, at least. All right, finally, let's open up our Iron Balloon bonus pack. Obviously, we want to get the Barbatos, fourth form. Mikazuki would also be good. But Barbatos is a common. Oh no, is it the... It's the mobile worker, oh no! Well, them's the breaks. That's actually really funny. Yeah, you get a random foil from here. I would have loved any of the pilots. Because I actually like McGillis as a character in IBO. He's not a good guy, but he's an interesting character. Yeah, I would have liked almost the Hyakurin, or where is it? Hyakurin would have been great too, right? The 4/3. Well, yeah, this one. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the Gundam content, if you'd like to see more trading card game content here on Red Zone Rogue. And we got a lot more stuff in the bag. We got some gameplay and some other stuff coming very shortly. Thanks again for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.